What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Uriah with the hub of fantasy football and my co-host, Foley.
Coming to you virtually.
I know this is like a big change up, but we're just going to try this and see what's going on, at least for the preseason.
Yeah.
So I figured we would talk a little bit about the off-season shenanigans around the NFL and the coaching moves first.
Look at that. I do have a sponsor.
Hit me.
It is the fan club of a certain quarterback that, a lot of people have dogged. I would never have dogged him. They doubted him. They said that some people thought he'd be good in New York, and he wasn't. And a lot of people just gave all kinds of crap. Now he is a Super Bowl champion, and this fan club wanted to sponsor our podcast just to shout him out. That is, of course, Drew Lock. Super Bowl champion Drew Lock.
I think you have that confused. That may be your favorite, but I think I called this last year. I mean,
yeah.
Well, look, we'll get into that. But yes, Drew Lock.
Shador Sanders.
I hate that's a thing now, but whatever. I was being genuine about my Pro Bowl with Sam Darnold. Back when it held a certain dignity. That's what it was trash last year. I can't say anything. But I still think he would have been like in the 2000s, like 2005. He would have been a Pro Bowl quarterback this year and last year.
Maybe.
Okay. So
who likes Sam Darnold?
So look, we'll go ahead and we'll get into you want to do the coaches first?
Let's do it.
I know. Okay, so look, we got a lot to talk about here. We'll go first with the coaches. Now, saying this, I know my co-host Foley is well versed in the assistants and the defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators. I am not. I am strictly a head coach guy, and that's all I'm going to talk about. So look, first we'll start off with Mike LaFleur. What's your idea? What's your thoughts on Mike LaFleur?
My thought is this is a bad Mike LaFleur, for those who don't know, going to Arizona to be the head coach, came from the Rams, obviously brother of Matt LaFleur. Bad news for both James Conner and, more importantly, Trey McBride. You think so? The offensive coordinator, will get into the assistant coaches right now. He brings in offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett, who has a pretty terrible track record at this point.
Yes.
And if you look at both of their careers, neither the Rams, the whole time LaFleur was there, nor Hackett, anywhere he's been, has ever had a fantasy relevant tight end, really, like a top 12 tight end.
Yeah.
Now, McBride will be a top 12 tight end because he's just that talented. I don't think he's what he just did. I don't think he's going to get the targets. I think there was never going to be a better situation than what he had with the way they were force feeding him in the old regime. But I think this is a downgrade for McBride.
Well, he was the New York Jets offensive coordinator for a brief stint. And then, with the Rams. And I think his success with the Rams comes from Sean McVay, personally. I think it's just a lateral move, especially if, their needs aren't addressed. I mean, you got Jacoby. Is Jacoby a great quarterback? No. But I think if you put some decent weapons, including the offensive line around him, he would have a decent year again.
NFL record holder, Jacoby Myers. Most completed passes.
Brissett. You said Myers?
Excuse me. Yeah. Getting my former Patriots mixed up.
Yes.
Do you think they're going to stick with Jacoby this year?
No, I'm afraid they're not, which we'll get into later on. But, yeah, I think, man, it's once again, I think it's a bad organization doing bad things. But that's my opinion.
Yeah. Let's agree. I like Mike LaFleur. Okay. I think he's fine. It's fine to give him a chance as head coach. I think Nathaniel Hackett is terrible and an idiot and does not belong anywhere in the NFL.
I agree with that. Let's move on to Kevin Stefanski. I think this is a good move.
I do too. Yeah, I like it. I think Stefanski is a pretty good coach, two-time coach of the year. How often do two-time coach of the years get?
It happens, evidently.
I know a fan at the show, super fan, James, did not like Stefanski. He really soured on him, and I understand why. But I do think Stefanski's a pretty good coach.
I think he's decent. Well, I think he's above decent. I'd give him like a B if I rated him. But I mean, dude, he was the Browns. We'll get to that later. But oh man, I mean, Baker Mayfield used to play there. I mean, that's enough said, right? And so many other players who have transitioned to other teams. I mean,
I think Stefanski has, for the most part, done a good job with a bad team. But I mean, I don't know what to expect from this team with the quarterback situation being what it is. Because now Stefanski's going into another situation where they don't have an answer for it.
Is he going to start all over and rip it from the rip it to the studs? I don't know either. I'm scared about that.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Jesse Minter. I'm going to leave my opinions at So you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, so Jesse Minter is a phenomenal defensive coach. I think he's part of this sort of new school. I just call them disguise defenses. That's what Mike Macdonald runs in Seattle. Jesse Minter studied under Mike Macdonald. Actually, he comes from that same coaching tree that Mike Macdonald does. He has connections to Baltimore. I think it's an interesting fit. It's kind of an awkward fit because he's friends with the Harbaughs, and now his former mentor is who he's replacing.
See, I'm questionable about it, and more, and I think more of that falls into I'm questionable about Baltimore next year. Like,
yeah,
where are we going?
No, what's interesting is that who they bring in is their offensive coordinator, because obviously Jesse Minter's the defensive coach.
Yes.
He's not going to be taught the offense. And who they brought in was Declan Doyle, who was the OC in name for Chicago. Now, that said, he wasn't calling the plays for Chicago.
No.
Because Ben Johnson calls the plays. It's an interesting system. It's a very different system from what Baltimore has been running. I kind of see it going either way. We just don't have any evidence of what Declan Doyle is. I mean, but he's still got Lamar Jackson and Henry. That's a great line.
That's a good thing to fall back on. Yeah, I mean, if I had to look at it, I would say it's like a 60% chance of working out. I mean, Baltimore they haven't really missed on head coaches. So, I mean,
yeah.
Ooh, let's move.
They're the opposite of Arizona.
I'm interested in what you think about this one. Joe Brady.
I was going to say I'm interested to hear what you think.
Okay.
I never liked Joe Brady.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't think the coaching is the problem at Buffalo. I think it's the general manager and owner situation. That being said, Joe Brady, once again, I think it's a lateral move, maybe even a dip. I don't have a whole lot of confidence, but the news with DJ Moore today, I mean, that's a big deal, I think.
Yeah, they finally get an next receiver. They've really needed a big body outside wide receiver ever since they let go of Stephon Diggs, and then it became a need, and then they traded for Marty Cooper, and he kind of filled the need, and then
for what, 8 games or something? Yeah,
it was only for like something like that, 8 games, but he was pretty good in that role.
Yeah,
but last year they just had nobody on the outside, and
it was a hot mess.
Yeah, it was a problem. I've never cared for Joe Brady. I think he kind of made his name on the LSU offense that I could have also made my name on with those weapons.
Yes, totally agree with that. But there's a lot of coaches in the NFL right now who are doing that same thing. So
totally. Yeah, for sure. But at least, even if I quibble about the plays that he calls, it's at least continuity for Josh Allen. It's he doesn't have to learn anything new. It's a system that more or less works for him. He's a top 5 quarterback every year, top 3 quarterback every year. So
and I think we're not finished. We still got a few more, but I mean, I think a lot of the coaching moves this year were questionable-ish. So
there's a lot of people I would not have fired.
Like my next one, the great Todd Monken. Yeah. Look, what I wrote down was it's the Browns doing Brown things. So, I mean, I, I could I could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
Cleveland Browns to the top.
Exactly. Yeah. Former Southern Miss great head coach.
That's right. I liked him more than you do. We know that. I would have, if I were Cleveland, I would have hired Schwartz, but I don't hate the Monken decision. I think it's worth giving him a chance. But it's one of those.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to think of a coach who doesn't have a quarterback. Like, he doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, I know, but that's a whole nother conversation. I don't like it, but that's me. Clint Kubiak.
Hit pause. We got because I'm just going in my alphabetical list here, same as you are, but I've got some assistant coaches just to mention.
Go ahead.
So the Dallas Cowboys, this is a defensive one, doesn't really apply to fantasy very much, but they have hired Eagles passing game coordinator Christian Parker as their next defensive coordinator. For whatever that's worth, I don't really have strong feelings about it. I mean, it's the Fangio tree. It's a pretty good scheme. Broncos are promoting Davis Webb to offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. He was, a lot of people were into him as a head coaching candidate this year. I think he's too young.
I don't like it, but whatever.
Yeah, but okay, he's supposedly going to get more play calling duties from Sean Payton. Detroit Lions hired Drew Petzing, who was the offensive coordinator for the Cardinals.
That's an interesting one.
And that one does have some fantasy relevance. Obviously, Lions have been a very fantasy-friendly team lately. I think so. Petzing knows Dan Campbell. That's what part of this is. Like, they have a long history. The scheme is a little bit different.
Are you saying nepotism is alive?
What? In this day and age?
Yeah, I know.
In the league where Pete Carroll's son was the offensive line coach for the Raiders last year?
Yeah, that's.
But Petzing is one to watch out for. The offensive play calling for Detroit was atrocious last year. I don't know that Petzing is the answer personally. There are other people I would have preferred, but it should at least be an upgrade. Packers defensive coordinator is going to be Jonathan Gannon, the former head coach of the Cardinals, who just got fired. And then the Chiefs, and then we'll get into the one you were talking about. But the Chiefs have brought back Eric Bieniemy as offensive coordinator.
I am happy, but I have not a lot of hope for the Chiefs next year. And I'm happy about that.
I don't want the Chiefs to do well either, but I do think this is an upgrade. You can correlate it pretty well to when the Chiefs started being kind of gross. On offense was when they lost Eric Bieniemy, replaced him with what's his name who was the head coach of Chicago. Oh, help me out, Uriah. What's his name?
I don't remember.
He was terrible. He was Mitch Trubisky's coach.
Oh, we'll just say that coach. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
He was the offensive coordinator for the last few years, and guess what? Patrick Mahomes hasn't been as good. Now they bring back Eric Bieniemy, who Patrick Mahomes was good with. We'll see. Maybe that's all they needed.
Yeah, maybe so. The great Clint Kubiak. Look, that's what I'm going to say about that.
I think he's a good coach. I mean, people forget, year before last, the first 4 weeks of the season, who was the best team in the NFL?
Year before last?
Yeah.
Lord, I can't think. Just who? I can't think.
New Orleans Saints.
Oh.
They were blowing everyone out of the water. It looked like the best offense of all time. And then people started getting hurt, and it fell apart. But Clint Kubiak was the offensive coordinator for that. And yeah, then like Derek Carr got hurt, and Chris
Kamara and
like 3 times.
Yes, he did.
Kamara, I think, was banged up all year. The offensive line fell apart. But there were 4 weeks where that offense was cooking. And then he goes to Seattle, and they kind of cooked there too. So I think he's a really great offensive mind. You never know until someone's in the position of what we can be a good head coach. But he's got a good scheme. He comes from a family of football coaches. So I think he's probably more prepared to be a head coach than most people. And I think he's going to end up with a good quarterback. I know you disagree, and we'll talk about that later, but I think he's got a good quarterback to work with. It's always hard to be optimistic about the Raiders in general, But I think there's a reason for optimism. Although he's another one. I don't think he's good news for Brock Bowers. I don't know that he'll get the
Well,
best out.
once again, it's the GM and owner. That's a whole nother issue. Owners, I guess I should say. The great Tom Brady. Yeah. Okay. This is my Hudson's pick of the week. Jeff Hafley. What are we doing, Miami? I mean, seriously. I mean, do you want me to read his his coaching record? We got a 22-26 at the Boston College. Yeah, that's awesome. 9-7-1 with Green Bay, and I mean he's a laughable head coach. Wow.
He's a rebuild coach. Like, this is the kind of guy you hire.
Oh, this is a bridge coach. Absolutely. Until somebody else comes along. Yeah. And they draft the quarterback they want and everything else. Yeah, this is laughable.
Yeah, he's being set up for failure. And it's the only thing they're keeping a guy that I quite like as offensive coordinator, and that is Bobby Slowick. I'm pretty sure I have that right. That Bobby Slowick is staying on as offensive coordinator. He was the offensive coordinator for CJ Stroud's first 2 years in Houston. And the first year obviously was awesome.
Yeah.
And then the second year, Stroud fell off a little bit and they blamed him and fired him. And then Stroud got even worse without him.
Yeah.
So I think he was unfairly blamed there. Then he was an assistant with Miami this past year. I like Bobby just on a personal level, and I hope to see him do well, but he has nothing to work with.
Oh, yeah, nothing.
I don't want to touch. I know this is like super early, but I don't want to touch any Dolphins next year in fantasy.
I agree with you. Jim Harbaugh, I think, is a great hire.
Absolutely. Anybody be lucky to, or John Harbaugh.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
One of the Harbaugh people. Yeah. I think that's a good hire. I don't really have anything to say about it.
Unfortunately, I do remember the name I was trying to think of earlier because now he's the Giants offensive coordinator, Matt Nagy.
Matt Nagy, yes.
That's a red flag. As much as I think John Harbaugh is a pretty good coach, I don't know how I feel about Matt Nagy being the offensive coordinator.
I don't like that, but
yeah. What's he going to do with your boy Jackson Dart?
Yeah, my boy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's not my boy at all. I don't want anything to do with the Giants. So I know I differ from everybody. Cam Scatterboo is great. Yeah, I don't see it, but whatever.
I'm glad you mentioned that because Harbaugh and I think Nagy too, and the front office people, they've already said that they want to bring in another running back.
I know. I saw that too.
So if you think, like, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that they bring in Kenneth Walker, right? It's probably won't be Kenneth Walker, but it's somebody.
I would look Thunder and Lightning. I would love that. Love it.
Here's the thing: you're forgetting somebody because Kenneth Walker, Cam Scatterboo, and Tyrone Tracy.
See, I take Tyrone Tracy. Yeah.
I won't touch that backfield if it's a 3 base. You know?
Absolutely. Let's move on to Mike McCarthy. I think it's a good hire, but the whole personnel decisions, that's going to be an issue. Yeah. Yes.
They fired Mike Tomlin and replaced him with Mike Tomlin.
Yes. And you have maybe Aaron Rodgers, which that sounds great. Put that on paper. I mean, Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, woo! This in 2005. I mean, we're a bit ways from that.
Gosh, I guess it's been more than 10 years since they won a Super Bowl together.
Yeah, exactly.
We're getting old. Yeah, I do think this is good news for DK Metcalf, who, I'm not a big DK fan.
Yeah.
I think Mike McCarthy can be good for DK Metcalf. So at least there's that. But yeah, we'll see if Aaron Rodgers comes back. I would guess Rodgers does not come back personally.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
I hope they give Will Howard a shot. That's just me. But anyway.
You like Will Howard. I don't. I don't like any quarterback.
I know you don't.
With Pittsburgh right now.
I get that. Which we'll dive into that kind of stuff in a little bit. And now, bringing up the rear, and it should be a big turd, Robert Saleh. Take two?
I like Saleh.
Take two, and this is another laughable hire.
You should love Robert Saleh.
No.
You know why you should love him?
Why?
Because that man is doing so much work for the bald community.
Gosh. Really? That's where we're going with that?
He's bald, and half his staff is bald.
I can't help their genetic. I cannot help their genetic faults. Robert Saleh is not a head coach. It's not my people. He's not a head coach. I'm just saying. Nope.
Representation matters, Uriah.
Nope. No.
I think Robert Saleh is a very good coach. And I'm sorry if I'm freezing up. But I think Robert Saleh is a very good coach. I thought he was scapegoated in New York. His owner, Woody Johnson, got mad because they lost in London in front of his friends. I don't think Saleh was the problem. I think Aaron Rodgers was the problem in New York.
Yeah.
Rodgers insisted on bringing in Nathaniel Hackett as offensive coordinator, who we've already talked about. He insisted on bringing all his friends, Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb. These are the people that were supposed to be the saviors of the Jets. I don't blame him for anything that went wrong there. But I also just as far as how it impacts fantasy, Brian Daboll is the offensive coordinator. Whatever about him as a head coach, I do think he's a good offensive.
I agree with that. But
I think it's a positive move for Cam Lord, even though I'm not crazy about Cam Lord. I think this is good for him. Someone like Tamari DK, I think that's good for him. It's a good move for fantasy, I think.
Okay. So now, here we get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast. Go ahead.
Sorry, you skipped a whole lot of assistants that I've got to talk about.
What? Once you and the assistants go, it's like you and offensive linemen. Go ahead.
They're talking too. They matter.
They don't matter. Not in fantasy.
They do, especially for fantasy. The offensive coordinators matter. Mike McDaniel being the new offensive coordinator for the Chargers doesn't matter. Is that what you're telling me?
No, that does kind of matter. I'll give you that one.
So, what do you think about that?
I like it. The only thing I'm afraid, I don't know. I like it. I do have some reservations, but I like it. Mostly from the head, from the quarterback position with Mike McDaniel. I don't know if it's going to gel or, you can only have so many head coaches. We've all seen that carousel with quarterbacks. It's not very good.
I feel the same way. Yeah, I love the upside of Mike McDaniel there, but I can also see how it can just go terribly wrong and whether he fits with the personnel there. But it should be interesting to see. If you're interested in some high upside plays,
this could be it. Yeah.
Omari Hampton, I think he can be great for Hampton.
I do too, and I hope it is. Who else you got?
I got Cliff Kingsbury to the Rams.
Oh, you love Cliff Kingsbury. I hate Cliff Kingsbury.
I know you do. I think it's such an interesting one because they run two very different systems, right? And last year, I talked about it a lot on the podcast. The Rams started running all these 3 tight end sets.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, Cliff Kingsbury, air raid guy, he doesn't use tight ends hardly ever. You're lucky if you get 1 tight end on the field with him. So it's interesting to see where they meet in the middle. Is it a lot of 2 tight end sets?
Well, man, I think I could be wrong, but I think everything in that organization runs through Sean McVay. So I don't. They hired him for a reason. I just don't know how he's used as an offensive coordinator. So.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's going to call in the plays or anything, but he's going to help. He's going to help Sean McVay draw up some plays, and I'm really interested to see what that.
Now, if that's the case, if Sean McVay is still the head of the offense and Cliff is throwing in his little wizardry, that's probably going to be awesome. But once again, I have reservations just because I really don't like Cliff Kingsbury.
I kind of do. I like.
I know you do.
It's great. This doesn't really matter for fantasy, but the Patriots promoting Zach Kerr to defensive coordinator. He was interim DC all of last year after their DC had prostate cancer. Be sure to get yourself checked, gentlemen.
It's no longer a finger. Get the blood test.
That's right. Yes. And don't delay. Get it. So then there's the Jets, who brought in Frank Reich as their offensive coordinator. I will just say I think that
I like that.
You like it?
I like it. Yeah. What?
I think that is the perfect move for when you're looking for who your interim head coach is going to be when you fire your head coach in week 8.
I agree. I agree with that. Yes. It's sort of like another Miami Dolphins, a Miami Dolphins situation again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's going to be the interim. But I don't know. I think Frank Reich, we're going to talk about quarterbacks in a minute. So just remember that I have a take on Frank Reich and the Jets and who their quarterback could be.
Okay.
So we'll come back to that. The Eagles brought in former Packers quarterback coach Sean Mannion as their new offensive coordinator.
I don't like it, but whatever.
I'm just not going to like any of it until they change their scheme.
Yeah, it's a terrible. It's whatever.
Yeah, they change coordinators every year, but their scheme never changes, and it leaves something to be desired. You're not getting the most out of your playmakers with the way they run things.
Yes, absolutely.
Almost done. Just a few more. 49ers, this isn't very important, but they bring in Raheem Morris as defensive coordinator. More important, though, the Seahawks, of course, had to replace their offensive coordinator because Cliff Kingsbury left to be a head coach. They're bringing in former 49ers run game coordinator and tight ends coach Brian Fleury. I just think this is a red flag for someone like Jackson Smith and Jigba that
absolutely. Yes.
You're great coordinator. Yeah.
Totally agree with that. And Pro Bowl quarterback Drew Lock.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. He might also take a hit because he doesn't have the same wizard calling plays. But here's my favorite coordinator move. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers hire Zach Robinson, who, again, I have a personal affinity towards. I think Zach is going to be so good for Bucky Irving.
I hope so. Once again, I'm either way.
Remember, Zach was Bijan's coach the last couple of years. I think Bucky Irving will cook with Zach Robinson. And I think Baker will be pretty good with him too. They at least know each other. Zach Robinson was an assistant for the 3 days that Baker Mayfield was with the Rams. So they at least have a tiny bit of familiarity with each other. I think it's a good move. And then finally, very, very last one, David Blau is the new offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders.
Who?
Former Lions. Well, David Blau.
Blau. I wonder if he likes blouses. Does he like blouses?
He was a very bad quarterback that some people inexplicably liked, but he will be the new offensive coordinator for the Commanders. I don't care.
Yeah. All right. So now do we get to the meat and potatoes?
Yes. By all means.
So look, first of all, there's probably going to be a lot of disagreement between Foley and I on these draft picks. And I am definitely coming from a place that not a lot of people are going to agree. Our first quarterback, exactly. Now I only did like 9 or 10. I mean, I think I don't even think those should be there, but whatever. We'll start first. Fernando Mendoza, the number 1 draft pick, probably this draft. So I will give you the floor, my sir.
Listen, I think he is a slam dunk number 1 overall pick. I don't really understand any argument. He does. I mean, he's the only thing you can kind of knock him on is that he's a little bit slow, I guess. But I don't care. He's such a good processor. He's huge. Dude is jacked, by the way. Dude is like, he weighed in at the combine at like 235 pounds, and there is no flab there. That dude is.
There's lots of flags, but whatever. Well, continue. I'm sorry.
No flab.
Oh, flab. I thought you said flags, and okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
I mean, look, it's not like he's airing it out with deep bombs, I know, but he does, when he needs to, he hits them. And he kind of like, I haven't found the perfect comp. When I comp players, I want people to understand, I'm not saying like he's as good as this player or as bad as this player. I'm just looking for stylistic comparisons. And Joe Burrow is kind of who I compare him to stylistically. Again, I don't know whether it'll be talent-wise that, but stylistically, I think they are very similar. With one difference, I think that Fernando Mendoza is better at getting rid of the ball than Joe Burrow is.
Interesting. Okay. So are you finish with your affinity for Mendoza?
Tell me what you don't like.
Okay. So once again, I watch college football. I pay close attention. So I'll just go over stats. And I believe watching a player in college is ultimately going to give you the best picture. We'll go 2023, 63% at Cal, 14 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Not great. We'll move 2024. He had 68%, 16 touchdowns, and 6 INTs. Move on to this year, which for some reason everybody will only pay attention to this year, but whatever. He was 72%, which was the top of all the quarterbacks. 41 TDs, 6 interceptions. Here's the problems I have. 6 and 7 against top 25 teams.
Stop.
Go ahead.
6-7.
We're not. That's so out. Anyway, the question I think is it Mendoza or is it Cignetti? And I believe it was Cignetti that made Mendoza what he was last year. I mean, the team, a bunch of 23-year-olds. He averaged 215 yards a game against top 25 teams, and he had some great wide receivers. I don't see him. He is at the most, a third-round quarterback. I gave you your time. He is a third-round quarterback. He is not a first-round pick at all. Is he the best quarterback this year? Maybe. I would take 2 others ahead of him, but that's me. So go ahead. Rebuttal.
You're right. This was his best year. Now, I think it is perfectly reasonable to say the most recent season is the thing you put the most weight on because, players develop and you want to see them get better. I don't trust someone whose best year was 2 years ago. I want to see them get better.
And I agree with that, but he had a great coach and a bunch of old people on the team.
Sure, I get that, and that's valid, and I agree. Cignetti had a good scheme, but I don't think this is a situation where I've talked so much in the past about someone like Jackson Dart, who I did like. I was a little unsure about him because it was a system that propped him up in a way where he didn't even have to make any reads. It was all just schemed open, just throw it here, don't even try to read the defense. It's not like it's that. Like he's going through progressions on these throws. And I'll tell you one of the things I love about Mendoza, I don't know about statistically, but his best performance, his honestly best performance of the year came against Ohio State. It wasn't against a cupcake.
Look, he was terrible that game though.
No, he wasn't.
In stats, he was.
I'm looking at his PFF grades by game right now. That was his best PFF grade of the year, 91.9.
Man, keep talking. I'll tell you what he did.
He was great. This guy, again, he's not the fastest in the world. He's not throwing bombs out there, but he just keeps the chains moving.
Ohio State, 222 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Mm-hmm. They did enough against the best defense in the NFL.
So what's your
best? Again, I didn't say statistically. I just said what he went out there and did.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was his. And you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the last college football game or college football championship that I watched before I stopped really paying attention to college football. Deshaun Watson against Alabama.
Oh, no. There's no way. Okay. We're going to disagree on this one. I would say, to me, you just called him with that stat line against Ohio State. What was the quarterback for the Ravens who won the Super Bowl?
Joe Flacco?
He's Joe Flacco.
Dilfer?
He is Trent Dilfer. That's my comparable.
He's so much better. I think he's great. He's going to be, if you're someone running a Shanahan scheme like Clint Kubiak does, he's going to be such a good, all you really need him to be is a game manager, and he's going to be great at that. But if you were also to throw him into a scheme where you need to ask him to just be a really high volume passer, he can do that also.
I think the best thing they could do, the Raiders, is trade down and gather picks for next year to get your real quarterback.
Let me ask you this. Pretend you haven't seen any of the player I'm about to name, any of his NFL career, right? It's just going as a prospect, what you
Okay.
in college.
Okay.
If Nando Mendoza and Cam Ward were in the same draft class, who would you take?
I'm going to contradict myself on this. I would say Mendoza. But the only reason I would say Mendoza is because he was better his senior season than Cam Ward. But saying that, I don't like Cam Ward. Here's a comparable. This is a comparable, and this I think is very fair. Fernando Mendoza for fantasy next year or Bryce Young?
Fernando Mendoza.
Over Bryce Young?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. We disagree. We'll move on to the next one.
Just real quick, especially if the Raiders with their second round pick can get Omar Cooper or even Elijah Surratt, I would be all over Mendoza.
We'll get to anyway. Anyway, we'll move on. Ty Simpson. Hate him too. You want to move on, or do you need anything for him?
Yeah, I mean, we should talk about him and talk about why we hate him.
He's not
my 13th ranked quarterback. Where do you have him?
Definitely outside top 10. 13 is probably fair. I would take the new what is it, North Dakota State quarterback over him?
Yeah, we'll be talking about him, believe me. So here's the thing about, just so everyone knows how I assess quarterbacks. One thing, like Foley's here, every year we put more weight on just how many games have you played.
Yeah.
Bill Parcells used to say he wouldn't even look at a quarterback who hadn't started 30 games in college. And there was a period like 5 years ago where people would really laugh at that old Bill Parcells line. Oh, that's so old.
It makes sense.
It makes total sense. And I think it's been proven right when we look at people like Bo Nix or Brock Purdy and what they've been able to do.
Don't you talk about Brock Purdy. Don't you talk about Brock Purdy.
I'm sorry, I meant to say Mac Jones.
He has proven him. Anyway, go ahead.
But like, there's something to be, it gives you a better floor if you've just played a lot of games. And you look at the flip side, someone like Trey Lance or Zach Wilson or Anthony Richardson, these guys who have not played hardly any college football
and are trash.
Any one of those guys still, like Anthony Richardson, could still be great.
No. Nope.
But here's the thing. You got to be able to sit through his development on the field. Like, he can't just develop on the sideline. He's got to get live reps, and you just can't sit through it. That was the whole thing with Trey Lance, is who has the patience to go through the terribleness. That was Sam Darnold too, right? Like, Sam Darnold didn't start a ton of games in college.
Yeah.
Bad in the Jets, and it took him all these years just to turn out to be good. But I just don't have the patience for that. You're going to run through his rookie contract, and he's going to go be good for someone else if he's going to be good at all.
Yeah.
I don't see any, like, yes, Ty Simpson has upside, and what some people will point out is that he was great at the beginning of the year.
And he got hurt.
And he was bad the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I can't take the risk.
You played at a powerhouse. I don't care what anybody say. Alabama's a powerhouse. Even with a different coach, 28 touchdowns, and you had phenomenal wide receivers, and you scored 28 touchdowns in a year. That's ridiculous. His greatest game was, he averaged like 250 yards and 2 TDs. So you can go with that.
Yeah. And I mean, 536 yards were on screen passes, by the way.
Yeah, because you had a great line and good run. But anyway, we'll move on from here. Now, here is my diamond in the rough. Garrett Nussmeier.
I had the same problem with him that I had with Ty Simpson.
Oh no! I'm not going to say you're wrong. I just think he has. I think he has a lot of potential. Yes, he did get hurt last year, but he didn't play when he was hurt. Ty Simpson was hurt but played games. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Again, it's this lack of experience. He just hasn't started enough games.
I think he did great. 2024, he had huge games against good teams and did not have great. I mean, he had one good wide receiver and a good tight end.
I mean, he had a 4,000-yard season in 2024. I get it. Like, I understand. I can understand why someone can talk themselves into Nussmeier. But again, for me, it just comes down to the lack of snaps. I mean, you think about it. He's played fewer games in his college career than Bryce Young has in his NFL career at this point.
I get it. Yeah.
But people still haven't made up their mind on whether Bryce Young can even be a starting quarterback, right? Because the sample size is still not big enough. I just don't think when there's enough sample size on Nussmeier, he has a good deep ball when he throws it deep, but he didn't do that enough for me to feel sure that was a regular thing. I think he was bad under pressure.
Like this year, his greatest wide receiver was Barry Brown. Give me a break. I mean, you can't. Nobody. Dan Marino could in his prime couldn't throw deep balls to him because the guy couldn't catch it and run a route. So
I don't know. I look at Simpson and Nussmeier are very similarly. Let me see where I don't even know who I've got Nussmeier as the 19th overall quarterback.
Absolutely not.
But again, that's me just essentially saying I'm not touching someone who hasn't started 30 games.
Now, let me also say this. I think a lot of the conversation will be moot, or however you say it, because of where they go and the opportunity they have. One of the things about Mendoza, he's going to the Raiders. It's not a good team. He's not going to flourish. Even if he was the greatest quarterback, he's probably not going to flourish there. I don't think he's the greatest quarterback, but this is all going to come down to where people go and what opportunity they have.
Sure. And here's the thing, as we talk through these quarterbacks, understand there are a lot of desperate teams, and Ty Simpson could end up being a first-round pick just because there are desperate teams who need a quarterback.
And that GM and coach need to be fired. If that's, I mean,
I can see the Steelers taking Ty Simpson.
Oh, my Lord.
If Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back?
Ty Simpson or Cam Ward.
Cam Ward.
Absolutely. Let's move on because I don't really think there's much else to talk about that. I'm interested in your position on this, Carson Beck.
I think Carson Beck is a great backup.
I'll give you a backup. Yeah. He played with some great offensive teams.
Yeah.
And a great tight end.
Yeah.
I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I could have thrown to Brock Bowers. You see what I'm saying? I mean, he's not all that. And he played with the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line?
And he was number 1 in college football last year in screen yards.
That should tell you a whole lot.
Yeah. But he also average time to throw 2.4 seconds.
That's forever.
That's nothing. That is quick. 2.4 seconds.
Yeah.
Zipping it out. 2.5 is average, is like what you in the NFL you want to see, but most college quarterbacks you're happy if they're under 3 seconds. So 2.4 is zipping it out.
Oh, and I didn't do this. I'm sorry, Foley. You got Mendoza first round?
Yeah, I've got him as number 1 overall.
Simpson, what round would you draft him?
Somewhere in day 3. That's all I can say. I've got to go through and I can't really put hard round grades on anyone until
I get that.
The other positions more.
I get that.
But day 3 for Mendoza and Nussmeier. I mean, I'm sorry for Simpson and Nussmeier.
Yeah, and I think all these quarterbacks are day 3 or third round, maybe Mendoza second round. That's me. Let's go to the poor.
Just so I say it out loud, Beck is somewhere on day 2 for me, so probably the third round. So day 3 is round 4.
I get that.
And yeah, I would probably take Carson Beck as a late third round pick if I needed a good backup quarterback.
Next, the poor and unfortunate Drew Aller. Can you be hurt your whole college career and still be a third round quarterback? I don't understand that, but whatever.
Let's see where I have it.
He has a career in college completion rate of 62%.
Yep.
Averages 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's
I have them as high as they do.
I don't either. But once again, the whole Ty Simpson thing. Why and how?
I mean, I have Ty Simpson higher than I have Drew Aller.
But they're not great. But they're not. I mean, what'd you have? 13 and 18, and then 19 with that. That's the only thing.
Either way,
yeah.
These are just quarterbacks that I'm not touching.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I don't. At least with Ty Simpson, though, I understand what people like it now.
Oh.
I can see the upside in Ty Simpson. I don't know what it is that Drew Aller does well.
Yeah. I don't want to agree with you, but I guess I am. I don't like they shouldn't be drafted.
Yeah.
Undrafted free agent at the top.
Yeah. I don't totally disagree.
Ooh, Mr. Irrelevant for this year's draft is where he should be taking Taylor Green. He is a project.
Yeah.
He never had a great year passing. Look, people are going to say Lamar Jackson. I'm going to say AR.
Yeah, what I've heard a lot.
Prove me wrong.
I haven't heard, what I've been saying is he is a natural backup to Lamar Jackson. But do you know who I've actually heard him compared to?
So he's Snoop?
Yeah, he's the new Snoop. I still believe that. I believe the Ravens should draft him to be the Lamar Jackson backup.
At the very end.
You know what you can do with Taylor Green if you draft him to Baltimore?
Wide receiver?
Once or twice a game, we'll come back to what you just said, but once or twice a game, line him up in the backfield with Lamar Jackson.
Oh, that'd be nasty. That'd be nasty, yes.
Love that.
Do an option with that? Woo.
Exactly, yeah.
I agree. Yes, that would be great, but that's not viable. You can't do. I mean, yes, it'd be great, but yeah.
I think he's just a really good backup for Lamar Jackson. He's terrible under pressure. He might be the worst quarterback in college football under pressure, but I mean, he can make. He has a decent arm. He can make the Sunday throws, and he is super, super fast. Now, a lot of people, the comp I've been hearing is Terrell Pryor because of the conversion to wide receiver.
I will give you that all day long.
Here's my thing. I'm never going to say, oh, this quarterback should just go be a wide receiver. I have no idea if they're any good at running routes. I have no idea if they've got good hands. I can't project someone to a wide receiver.
See John Rice.
Yeah, exactly. John Rice. There've been a lot like that. Though.
Yeah,
and sometimes it works out. Mohamed Sanu, Julian Edelman, it can work, but there's just no way to know.
Yeah, yeah. Don't bet on that. Don't bet on that square to hit.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would third or fourth round if I'm Baltimore. I'll take Taylor Green to be my backup. Otherwise, he's a late pick for anyone else.
All right. So I'm interested about the next three. We'll start with Cade Klubnik.
Man,
I agree.
Blow.
Look, loses to good teams.
I'll say I've got him higher than a lot of the other quarterbacks we talked about. I've got him QB6.
I don't know how you do your rankings, but whatever. No, Klubnik is not okay. We'll move on. I would
Nussmeier?
Yeah, I would take Ty Simpson over Cade Klubnik.
Klubnik started more games. I'm telling you, that really has become a part of it, and I just won't touch the people.
Yeah, he played for the ACC and averaged about 20 touchdowns a year. Come on. And against bad teams. He lost against the good teams and was terrible. 220 yards in big games. Come on.
I get it. He was really bad against LSU this year.
If you're bad for the 3 years you start, that doesn't make you a good quarterback, Foley.
I do understand where you're coming from, but I'm just saying, there's enough in, and I'm not going to give away all the how analytics work.
Listen, I could care less about the underwear Olympics. Means nothing to me. That is garbage. It is.
The track record speaks for itself. I'm not talking about the combine. Yeah, no, I'm not. Look, the combine, I don't even factor in.
Look, we were on record last year I think we did pretty good.
Yeah.
I think this is the first year that we have had some very big discrepancies.
Yeah.
And we'll have to wait till the end of the year to see. But let's move on to one I am very interested in, Sawyer Robertson.
I don't know why you're interested in him, honestly.
Okay, I'll tell you. He had some really big games against top 10 teams. I mean, like, when I say good games, I'm talking about like 340 yards, 5 touchdowns. Really good games. Now, some of the bad games, he wasn't all that. So I don't know if he plays up for competition or what. He's a great runner.
Yes.
Look, when I say I like him, he's definitely like 4th, 5th round. But I like him. I'm not saying he's great. I just like him.
What I'll say specifically is it's not that I think he's just a great runner. I think he is a great scrambler or good. Like, not even great, but I think that's the best part of his game.
He reminds me of Baker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's that kind of player for sure. He's better out of structure when he's just scrambling around with the football.
But once again, the problem you're going to have is your draft where Baker was 1. This guy's going to be like 5th round, 4th, 5th round, and he's just not going to have that chance.
He's probably 7th round pick for me, honestly. If anything, I've got him QB 21. I don't like him. Like, I think that the best part of his game, and just something I want our listeners to understand, I'm giving the overall ranking, but I also have separate rankings based on offensive scheme and what you want to do in different systems. So I have one just for Shanahan's systems. I have one for if you're running a mobile quarterback friendly system. Like, I have rankings based on different sort of QB archetypes. But for this exercise, I'm giving the overall, which sort of averages out how they are across those different systems.
Yeah, I get it.
Overall, Sawyer Robertson is QB 21 for me.
I'm sorry. Cole Payton.
This is my guy right here.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
What rank is he? Don't do. Oh my! Who are you? Why? The floor is yours. Explain to me your fascination with a North Dakota State quarterback who.
I only have one problem with Cole Payton.
Oh, I got a lot of problems, but go ahead.
It is that he's left-handed.
Only you would make that.
If he were right-handed, I would be obsessed with it. Now, I'll start with the bad. I've talked about average time to throw. He takes forever to throw the ball. However, that's because that man is slinging it out there. That dude is a gunslinger, if ever there were one. In the 90s, Jags would take him number 1 overall, and I love it. He can move around. He can spread more than anything. The dude is just a gunslinger. I have him as my number 1 for a gunslinger system. There aren't really many of those left. However, I told you I'd come back to this. I do think he is a good fit for Frank Reich with the Jets. Now,
so answer me this, and like I said, I base everything off what I see. I could care less about intangibles and the guy ran a 4.3. All that means nothing to me. If you can only throw 16 touchdowns in Division II, come on, man. Get a life. You don't need to be playing in the NFL. Go be a doctor or something. Yeah, that's ain't for you. This life ain't your life.
I understand. And look, and before anyone accuses me of hypocrisy, I recognize that he is not super experienced in the same way that Ty Simpson is not experienced. I mean, he's got
even less.
Or he has 30 starts, so he has just a few more starts than someone like Nussmeier or Simpson. However, he has fewer. He hasn't dropped back a ton in his starts. It's been run heavy offenses. So, but before anyone accuses me of hypocrisy, I take that into account. He's still my QB2.
Ain't no way.
That's how good he has been with the ball in his hands.
We're so going to disagree on this one. I can't even believe you're saying that, but okay.
This is so one of the 2 PFF statistics. I know I cite PFF a lot, but for quarterbacks, these are the 2 statistics that I think actually matter the most. Big time throw rate and turnover worthy play rate. So big time throw these are the passes where you are really chucking it downfield and making a huge difference in the play.
Okay, I'll give you that. But on that, listen, I'll give you that. But if you go back and you look, almost more than half those wide receivers were wide open. It's just like playing backyard football. It wasn't nothing like
dime. Well, I do love his wide receiver too, but that could have been double covered some of these times.
Whatever.
Red basket, baby. But let me finish that.
Go ahead.
That's what a Big Ten throw rate is. Turnover worthy play rate is the opposite. It's when, regardless of whether it gets intercepted or not, did you throw it at the defense? And a really good quarterback, like let's just say Josh Allen, he'll have like a 6% big time throw rate and a 3% turnover worthy play rate. Here's Cole Payton's numbers. And I know competition, whatever, but this tries to take out the competition and just look at what he did. Big time throw rate of 11.3%, turnover worthy play rate of 2%. The dude manages to, he's awesome.
He'll be in.
Again, I understand competition. More likely than not, it's not going to work out. Where Uriah and I do agree is this is just not a good quarterback class. So that's part of why I'm as hyped on him as I am.
He'll be out of the NFL in 2 years.
Probably. You're probably right. I don't like any of these quarterbacks. I think it's more likely than not that Cole Payton doesn't work out. But what I will say is outside of Fernando Mendoza, he's the only one I even want to see on the football field this year. Not that I think he should be a day one starter, but I would love to see someone draft him on day 2 and at some point this year, trot him out there and see what they've got.
So the one thing I want to say, first I'll address the underwear Olympics. There's only been one quarterback who ran fast and was relevant in the last, I think, since the combine started. That was Russell Wilson with a 4.5. He's been the only person that was even close, and everybody else is higher. And this is my caveat with the whole thing. The only way any of these QBs prosper is if they get drafted by a team with a good running back and a good defense.
So if they got drafted to a team with maybe Breece Hall in the backfield?
Who's the defense?
Yeah, the defense is
okay. That's what I'm saying.
I want to see Cole Payton go to the Jets.
Interesting. All right, so here's the fun part. This is where we get into the whole fantasy. Everything else has been kind of he said, she said. Malik Willis. Is he one of the new quarterback rebuilds, or is he trash?
You're asking, is he a Geno Smith of the Year candidate?
Or Sam Darnold? Or
the award will forever be known as the Geno Smith of the Year.
Is that who he is?
Probably not, but but he could be.
Would you take, I know you're biased against Mendoza, so I'm not going to count him. Would you take any of the quarterbacks we talked about ahead of Malik?
No.
Okay. I'm not even going to talk about this. I'll leave it to you. Kyler Murray.
No, thank you. I don't think he's a starting quarterback at this point. I'm not really interested in salvaging his career. I think it's
done.
Fell apart. Yeah, I don't even want him as a backup, honestly. He seems like the kind of guy who's too much of a headache to have as a backup.
You are what you are.
Yeah, it's kind of like having Russell Wilson as your backup. It's just there's too much personality there that it doesn't work for me, and I don't trust him as my starter. He's too different stylistically from everyone else. You have to tailor your offense to this guy too.
He's even worse than tailoring it for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you couldn't take him and put him on the Ravens without Lamar Jackson, and it'd be a disaster.
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw both these out because they're about the same. Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins. Would you take any of the quarterbacks we talked about ahead of those guys? Ooh,
yes.
Who?
Well, are you asking just for 1 year or like as an investment?
We'll just say just down the line. We're not franchise or anything.
I would certainly take Cole Payton ahead of either of them. And I mean, I'd go so far down, honestly, as take, unless I'm a contender trying to win a Super Bowl this year and I don't have a quarterback, which I can't think of, I mean, that's really only describing Pittsburgh. what are you getting out of Rodgers or Kirk Cousins?
Nothing.
They're probably not going to get you a Super Bowl.
I would take it on those two. It would be like, hey, mentor Garrett Nussmeier, mentor Carson Beck for a while, and after the third game, they're starting.
I agree. Like, yeah, I would like both. I would like one of those veteran guys, particularly in that sense, probably
Kirk Cousins. Yeah. Yeah.
And a rookie that can learn from this vet.
All right.
I agree.
Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes. Would you take any of the quarterbacks ahead of Danny Dimes?
No. Other than Mendoza. We've said this is excluding Mendoza.
Yes, excluding Mendoza, because I think me and you differ so much that I'm just taking him out of the thing. This is interesting. Tua or Mac Jones? Would you take any of those franchise-wise ahead of Tua or Mac Jones? This is
take Cole Payton over Tua.
Really?
Another lefty.
I would
take Cole Payton over Tua.
I don't even know you.
I wouldn't, again, like, I'm out on Ty Simpson and Garrett Nussmeier, but I wouldn't blame anyone for taking them over Tua. Mac Jones, I would take over any of them.
Wow. I'm opposite. Give me Tua and just forget Mac Jones. I don't even know who that guy is.
He's Brock Purdy.
Whatever. The West Coast Brock Purdy.
Mac Jones, I think, is another legitimate. I think he's probably going to stay in San Francisco, but if they do trade him, he is a legitimate Geno Smith of the Year candidate. He can have that sort of.
You think he's a comeback?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
He can have him come back. I don't see it for Tua. I mean, the brain injuries alone keep me from.
All right, and the last one I would just ask you about is Jacoby. Would you take any of those ahead of Jacoby Brissett? I think this is relevant, especially for fantasy.
It's the same answer as Kirk Cousins, right? Like, I would like both. I would like a rookie and Jacoby.
Yeah.
Jacoby's getting old. I like Jacoby a lot. I wish he had more chances in the NFL than he has had, but he's getting old. Started for a year, let him mentor another, just like he mentored Drake May. He was a great mentor for Drake.
So now Drake May. Okay, I get you. Brissett built Drake May.
That's right.
No, no. But anyway, so that is all I got. What you got?
One more free agent quarterback that some people were talking about. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, really? No.
I have heard that there are NFL teams.
You got your ears on the ground?
That's right. Specifically, Arizona is a team that I have heard might be interested in Jimmy Garoppolo.
Dude, what? Look, I would love for them to hire both of us and just let us go at it and just build a great team, because what these people are doing is sad.
Again, my track record, especially with draft evaluations, I have a really strong track record of being able to do this. And the last thing I'll just explain about Analytics and how it works is I don't think you should take it as a literal ranking. What it's really good at doing is saying, hey, this guy that everyone loves, there are some huge problems with his game that mean it's probably not going to work out for him. And when the rest of the world has someone like Cole Payton ranked pretty low, and I have high like that, it's not that he's literally going to be the second one in the draft, but it is saying
his negatives are less than his positives. Yeah.
Also just like, hey, this guy's really flying under the radar, and you should look at him. You should figure out how it's just it's flagging potential. And that's why I like someone like Jackson Smith and Jigba, who, I mean, he wasn't totally under the radar for anybody, but I was higher on JSN than most people. I can go any position and say,
oh, well, look, we're going to go through all of them. So I got nothing else. What, you got anything else to end us out?
No, I don't think so. It's off-season, and honestly, this is as much fun for me as the regular season. Just watching how teams try to figure out how they're going to go into next year. Oh, one more thing before we go, if you're interested. You want to do like a mock draft of the top 10? I can share my screen.
Sure, whatever you want to do.
Let's do it. That's part of the reason I thought it'd be fun to do this on Zoom, so I could share my screen and do this. So we're just going to go. And again, I haven't figured out all of my rankings yet. Any second now. There we go. You can see my screen okay.
Gotcha.
We're going to go the top 10 here.
Oh, okay. Oh, goodness. I'm going to do bad on this.
Let's see. So the Las Vegas Raiders, who are they picking? Are you going to let them take Fernando Mendoza?
Man, I don't care. I care less on this.
Anything. What if we do odds and evens? I'll take odds, you take even.
That sounds great.
Just so I can let the Raiders take the beautiful Fernando Mendoza, number 1 overall. And if you need any help, there is a little thing up here. I don't know if you can see it.
I see it.
Needs, but yeah, and just tell me if you want me to switch to any particular.
Give me Sonny Styles.
I love it.
He's great. I'll agree with you on that.
I love Sonny Styles. All right, the Cardinals.
You better get them an offensive lineman.
Do what?
I say you better get them an offensive lineman.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, they have Francis Noah ranked number 1. I like Spencer Fano more. I'm going to give them Spencer Fano a tackle.
Let's see. The New York Giants. Lord, they need all kind of help. Oh, the Titans. Oh, Lord, they need even more help. Listen, I'm going to throw a curveball because I like him. Give me Jeremiah Love. Give me Love.
He's yours. I like Love.
Look.
On the running back show.
Yes.
I think number 3 overall with is 2 or number 4 overall. Excuse me. I think that's too early. But okay. Now I've got the New York Giants.
Good luck with that.
I'm really tempted to take Caleb Downs here.
Please do, because I know who I'm taking with the Browns.
I'm going to do it. And I'll tell you why I'm going to do it. Caleb Downs, great safety. It's not a sexy position, but he's so good. And
his janky knee.
From where he had Kyle Hamilton, who was such a great safety. Let's do Caleb Downs.
Give me Carnell Tate, the number 1 wide receiver in the draft.
I've been connecting the Browns to Carnell Tate a lot. The Ohio State connection.
Gotta be, yeah.
I agree with you. And I think he's a great player. Washington Commanders, I guess I will give them Reuben Bain. I think he's probably the best edge in the class. I know he has short arms, but the dude is.
That don't mean anything. He's too powerful.
Yeah, I'm with you. So we'll give them Reuben Bain. They've been struggling at defensive line for years now.
Look, I know, listener, one particular is going to be like, we need such and such. I'm going to pump the brakes. Give me Reese.
You're going to take Cargo Reese. Okay. Do you see him as a linebacker or as an edge?
Edge.
Yeah, I do too. Okay. Replacement for Cam Jordan, who just.
Yes.
Hit free agency today.
I'm interested what you're going to do here.
Well, what I would have liked to do is take Jeremiah Love right here. That's
yeah.
a great spot for Jeremiah Love.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the stupid Titans had to take him at number 4 overall. So now I don't know what I'm going to do. Let me check some of my rankings real quick. You know what I have as the next edge.
Oh, you're taking the edge. Okay.
I'm not sure if I'm going to take an edge. No, I know I've got the next edge. I don't feel confident enough about it. You know what?
I know who you need to take, but that's a whole other thing.
Francis Noah, I think.
There you go.
Because he is for me, the number 2 offensive tackle behind Fano. The Chiefs' offensive line has had their struggles. Let's do it. Francis Noah. Although I will say a lot of people are going to want to give the Chiefs Kenyon Sadiq to replace Travis Kelce. I'm not doing it.
All right. Give me Lanone. Guard from Penn State.
Ioane.
However you pronounce it. I don't know how you pronounce it. Lord, looks like Lanone for me, so give me him.
I think it's a very, very good guard. I don't hate that at all. So there you go. We'll take him. Oh, it's still going? I thought I only picked the top 10. Do you want to keep going? Or the Jets have a second pick. That's why.
Look, if you want to keep this, and we'll in our next one we'll go down the other list.
Oh, I'm not going to say this.
Okay. Well, look, we'll go to 20. Go to 20.
Well, this is skipping. It's the only reason it's still going is because we have the Jets in there, and the Jets have 2 first-round picks. So this is the Jets' second first-round pick. So this will be our last one.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Oh no, and then there will be the Browns too. Who do we want to give the Yeah, this is your pick anyway. If you pick the last one for the Jets, it's an even. Who do you want for the Jets now?
Man, I would love to take Lemon, but man, give me Lemon. I think that's where you go.
I like that. I like that a lot. Pair him with Garrett Wilson. I don't hate it. All right, and now this is the last pick for not the last pick. Darn it, because there's also the Chiefs have a second first rounder. But anyways, the Browns. Who do you want to give the Browns?
Man, they need line help, guard or tackle or center. No, they're good on center, guard or tackle.
All right, here let's filter it down to those two.
Oh, I would say Proctor.
Kenny Proctor.
Yeah,
he might be better guard than tackle, but they could use it either way, like you said.
Yeah, that's the reason. That's the reason I said him.
Yeah, he's got the versatility. And now the Chiefs' second pick. Ooh, so we've already given him.
Oh, I like somebody.
I kind of am interested in Caden McDonald here. I like Pregnon as a guard. I do not like Casey Concepcion.
Oh, I was just to say I love Concepcion.
We'll talk about him on the wide receiver show. I don't like him. He can't catch balls. I know he's fast. I know he's a good route runner. He just can't catch the football, and that's out on him for that reason. I'm going to go Caden McDonald. He is a really safe player. He's going to be a good interior defensive lineman. I think they can use that. But I am tempted by Emmanuel Pregnon and just really shoring up that offensive line. But we'll go McDonald and call that a draft. And here we go. It's going to give us the overall first round. There you go.
All right. Well, I'm good. You got anything else?
That's it for me, Bolts.
All right. Well,
let us know if you enjoyed this format.
Absolutely. Let us know, and we'll get back with you with probably running backs?
Yeah, I think so. We might even be able to knock out running backs, wide receivers, tight ends all at once.
That'll work. We'll see you guys later. Later, guys.
Goodbye.